have slammed President Jacob Zuma's decision to deploy more than 400 soldiers to Parliament. SANDF members will help the police maintain law and order during the State of the Nation address. Constitutional law expert Pierre de Vos joins us via our Skype line. Good morning to you, Pierre. Thanks for your time. Firstly, the big question which you've also been asking is the lawfulness of this deployment. Is it lawful? Can the President do this?
Well, firstly, there are procedural requirements that must be met. In terms of Section 201 of the Constitution, the President must inform Parliament and also say why it is necessary to deploy the troops in addition to the police. So why is it that the police cannot do this on their own? I'm not sure if the President has done that. Secondly, the Minister of Defence must gazette this in the Government Gazette within 24 hours. That would have been 2 days ago, to make it lawful. And thirdly, there has to be a code of conduct to make sure that the police is going to, that the military is going to remain acting in a way that is appropriate in a democracy. So we don't know if that has happened. Lastly, there is a requirement that nobody can be deployed within the precinct of Parliament without the permission of the presiding officers of Parliament, and they have to remain under the control of and under the direction of those presiding officers. So we don't know if soldiers will be deployed inside Parliament. If they are, and if they haven't been requested to be there by the presiding officers, that would clearly be unlawful.
Pierre, one of the things that you also point out is that a part of the Constitution says that the military should only assist the SAPS in the most exceptional of circumstances. Do you feel that the State of the Nation address as an event is exceptional enough?
No, obviously not. What would be exceptional, for example, would be if there is an attack on the Parliament. Or if they are uprising in the streets and it is impossible for the police to control the matter and the Parliament as an institution is under threat. That would be very exceptional circumstances.
Now, in terms of the level of deployment that we're seeing, Pierre, over 400 members of the SANDF to be part of this collaborative effort with police, and that then you also count the number of Cape Town Metro Police that would already be policing in that particular area. So the security, the level of security speaks to a certain level of threat. Is it clear what the President is afraid of?
Well, we don't know. There might be a threat, but we have obviously not been told what the threat is. What might make one wonder whether there is a threat, though, is the fact that next week the President will be back in Parliament to be part of the debate on his State of the Nation address, and then the security will not be as strict as it is now. So we don't know why this week the security needs to be so strict, but next week it need not be so strict. Maybe there's a reason, but obviously we've not been told.
Due process, and I speak now on the part of the South African National Defence Force, are they taking a risk here, especially if their deployment, if due process has not been followed in deploying them? Are they taking a risk in actually then saying yes to the deployment?
Well, the military must obviously comply with any lawful instruction given to them by the Commander-in-Chief, which is the President. But if they are not going to be deployed lawfully, they are going to open themselves to risk. If, for example, they shoot somebody and they kill people, then they might not have the protection that they otherwise might have had.
Is there enough grounds for organizations or individuals to take this matter to court to oppose the deployment of the SANDF tomorrow?
Well, the problem is we don't know. We don't know if the legal requirements have been met or not. So unless there's more information coming from the President, maybe the only way to force the Presidency to tell us whether the requirements have been met is to take it to court, where obviously it will have to be presented.
Constitutional law expert Pierre de Vos on our Skype line. Thanks for your time this morning.